Hustle in the lobby, bright lights, reflections. Screen flickers, tales of crime and affection. Baristas mix caffeine with tales of deception. Lawyers joke and shadows plot their redemption. Case files like popcorn scatter on the floor. Jury's out in line, folks begging for more. Quirky loopholes twist through every door. Paparazzi flash for the courtroom encore. Legal Shenanigans Theater, baby, where justice lasts. Crime and humor dance, baby, a curious path. Grab your ticket, honey, let the gavel smash. In the flood of laughter, see the road splash. Scoundrels with a smile, defense on their lips.
That sinking moment when you realized he didn't change the legal shenanigans to this week. Hello and welcome everyone. I am Mo and I am recording ARC adjacent. If you're in the Midwest, we are currently under, I think God is mad at us. So if anyone has any lumber and knows how to build an ark, no crappy animals will be allowed on. Sorry, you possums. God, everyone knows you're really, really useful, and I wish God hadn't, created you to look like a demon from hell. So, sorry about you're not going to be invited on the ark.
Not invited to the party. Sorry. They are the ugliest things.
They are, and they hiss, and then their eyes. I ran over one, and I didn't mean to, but then again, when it goes, and it like your body automatically wants to push on that gas pedal because, Satan.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a strongly worded letter from PETA.
Oh, well, I don't think you have to worry about anything from them. Just wait till they discover that they're an animal.
Probably. So I realized that we had never finished the, I think it's the redirect, and then I forgot. But looking through this to try to find closing statements, I forgot that Dr. Black from the Rittenhouse trial actually made an appearance on this particular case.
Yes.
Apparently after he had a shit ton of gummies.
Yes. This was an interesting look for Dr. Black, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he went from being all, scienceology and I have graphs and let me show you my, my audiological, stamps where all these things happened. And then in this trial, it's like he was just not here.
Yeah. He's like, yes, I collected a paycheck, but it wasn't a good one.
To be fair, if I had to deal with B. Ivory Lamar, I think I'd double up on gummies too.
Not wrong.
All right. So I believe we are where B. Ivory Lamar is trying to clean up, some of the things we found out about Cross, like this was accidental on purpose, sort of self-defense. And when in doubt, either accept responsibility for your crime or, go in search of justice or, can you repeat that?
And don't forget the little mistake that Theodore made when he confessed to his other crimes that he committed.
Oh, well, I mean, that. But, I mean, he was infuriated.
Yeah.
I don't know. The title came to me because I was like, what is the one thing that I think of every time when I think of the Theodore Edgecome case? And honest to God, it's when he looks just dead ass stupid in the camera. And he's like, well, I knew they were defense attorney or public defenders, but I was unaware as to in cases of these extremities.
Yeah.
I don't think he understands extremities in these extremes.
Yeah, I genuinely hope that in his time that he has been in prison, that he has learned what the word extremities mean.
I was waiting for him to say, no, it was a headshot.
Yeah, it's just like, oh Jesus, this guy. But
I think that we might be somewhat triggered by Mr. Edgecomb's long pauses. We can get through them together, you guys. After last week and, well, the Linda Sturmer continuation of trial, we might all need an emotional support beverage, so be sure you have yours before we start this.
yeah, Sturmer. I don't know why. Why do I think of something that's not good when I hear that name?
Now, just for
It's a
the jurors' edification, if you could explain what is an imminent threat
because
to
it
you,
sounds
Mr.
like
Edgecome?
stammer and
Direct
murmur all at the
person
same
like
time.
close to you in close proximity of your
Maybe.
person, almost evading like your personal space, imminent,
Not
direct.
evading,
clear.
invading.
And Mr. Edgecome, can you explain any emotions or bodily responses that you had to the threat that you perceived on
I
September
pooped my
22nd?
pants.
I mean, I would have accepted pooped my pants. Look, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, jury, but I did prairie dog a bit. I had, look, it was a shart, if you will.
It would have been more honest.
I, hey, it would be one more. I think he's had like two honest things that he said
Yeah,
on stand.
but
It would take that tally.
it also wouldn't have been the truth. So there's that too.
Well, I mean, gonna ask him to remember things and the truth.
I know it's we're asking for a lot. I know.
Look, he has accepted responsibility for his actions. Damn it.
That he extremities, self-defense. I was threatened. Wait, what are the
It
other
was
keywords I'm supposed to say?
evading- Okay, wait, I remember this. I have accepted responsibility for my actions. I was in search of justice with my public defenders at home, but on a quest for justice. And then I think, I reacted to defend myself.
Yes,
I
there you
reacted
go.
in self-defense or to protect myself.
Yeah.
Well, at least he got a nice suit out of the whole thing. When he gets, when he gets out in 20 or so years, he can definitely go sell Cutco knives and Kirby vacuums.
Well, by then he should at least be good at. Never mind.
Yeah, he'll get a thesaurus. Sarah Boone will teach him how to speak well. It'll be great.
Oh God. Oh Jesus. That would be amazing, actually, if Sarah Boone started
Can you
teaching people
imagine
how to
him
speak
saying
English.
or him just like, futuristically, in some extremities, I am going to be fighting for justice. Just I can't.
Unintentional. I'm a pot
Unintentional.
made of gold.
Oh my
Or whatever.
gosh, yes. Yes.
I'm
Something
broken.
Sudoku is the ancient Asian thing of making people try to remember math.
Yes. Otherwise known as an abacus.
Oh my gosh. Actually, I just got all of Sarah Boone's family court stuff, and I need to get, look, I don't know where my Sarah Boone wig is. I think it's in a box somewhere, which means I definitely need to buy another Sarah Boone wig. And we will be reading, because I think Sarah Boone has a lot to teach us. I mean,
Oh.
also, not for nothing, but anyone know a company that for makeup that sells really big gold eyeliners? Because I really don't have to use a magic marker. I feel like that's taking it a little too far for Sarah Boone.
Yeah.
Yes, I was in fear, like borderline shaking because of, just previously about to get hit. Well, getting hit, and then also too being about to directly get hit, and in which I, ran from and was able to get away. from them, directly trying to hit me, deliberately trying to hit me.
Did you have any other bodily?
I'm confused. Mr. Edgecombe, did they try to hit you?
Allegedly.
He's like, where they tried to, where I ran away from, but where they had hit me. I'm like, okay, that's 3 different statements in that sentence there.
It is, but I mean, at
He's
least
just so
it
earnest
kind of
when he
made sense.
finishes it. He's just so earnest. He's like, I did good.
Yeah, and it's like, well,
Newman. Abdu or Abgu? It was Newman.
it was Abdul, the dude from The Simpsons.
It was, oh gosh,
Abu.
it was Apu. Nahasa
Apu.
Peppa Pima Pedalon.
Yeah. Yes.
Love that I can't remember any of 4 years of Spanish that I took for my advanced high school degree, but I definitely can remember The Simpsons, Apu's last name.
Yeah.
And my brain's so proud, it's like, I remembered. And I'm like, great. Could you remember anything ever? Like, dates of birth, appointments. And my brain's like, okay, how about The Simpsons? I know stuff about Futurama.
Yeah. Well, it's like, but you can't remember the milk and eggs,
Yeah,
or the milk and gold, I guess.
pretty much.
Experiences that you noticed as a result of that threat?
Just fear and shaking, and
Okay. All right, no more questions for you.
Just fear and safety,
Fear, breathing, goosebumps.
all the words.
Okay.
Like-
So when you've really screwed up and your dad's just sitting there trying to work out what happened in, the evolution of your ancestors and then up to him and then whatever he did to create you, like what went so wrong.
I mean,
Just-
yeah.
Or your parent. Like your mom can do this too, but I just think dads do it with such flair because you can see this state prosecutor just like, I'm not even angry. I'm
Yeah.
disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't even come up with a good lie. Like at least if you're gonna lie to me.
Yeah. Make it good. I mean,
Yeah.
or consistent. That would work too.
Or, logical. Make it worth, me having to walk down to the Kroger to pay another $13 for a case of Coke.
Yeah. That's, I can't remember. It was sometime last year when I discovered that soft drink prices had skyrocketed since the last time that I had purchased them, and I was like, wait,
Yes.
how much is it?
I know. I have kept my addiction to save the American economy. I have kept my addiction going through thick or thin. Go America.
Yeah.
For my American fiber, for this American home, this American settlement.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gotten crazy. Almost to the point where I want to get a soda stream, but then it's also a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Then you have to clean it. And,
Yeah. And the
then-
cups, and no one ever knows where the lids are. And it's just like,
yeah.
no.
When
right.
your habit becomes work, then it's no longer fun.
Yeah, pretty much. I just love this disappointed, like, God, I gave up smoking for this.
You had weapons training?
yeah,
They teach you how to shoot?
no,
Did you have a weapon during this weapons training?
yes, they don't in the training classes. They don't we
Who gave this man a gun? Who the fuck gave this man a gun?
Suge
And
Knight.
he's like, we don't get we don't get the guns in the classroom. I thought you were gonna teach us how to shoot.
Yeah, he was disappointed. He's like, I asked for a refund. Thought y'all were gonna give us guns.
I love how he's saying it like the state prosecutor is the moron here.
Yeah,
Like, you idiot. It's not safe to play with guns inside. That's why I played outside with them.
yeah,
If you will remember, this alleged homicide happened in the out of doors.
in the extremities of the building.
It was the opposite of inside. It was the out of side.
Yeah, it's like, sir, that may be the only time that you use the word extremities in a semi-correct way.
Again, I was just waiting for him to say, "No, I got him in the head."
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't actually say that, but
He, you know what? B. Ivory Lamar, him and that's the only thing they practiced. He remembered. He's like, extremities means law, not, hands and legs.
yeah,
We don't shoot in the class. We go to like a firing range.
So you've been to a firing range to shoot, right?
Yes.
And you realize, and you've been trained on how to hit your target, right?
It was
He's like,
right
wait a-
here. Wait a minute. This
Yeah.
is a trick.
he's like,
You
wait a
can see
second.
His
This
eyes
is-
shifted back and forth like, B. Ivory said that this guy was going to be sneaky and try to get me in a trap. And this sounds like one of them trap questions.
Ding, ding, ding. You are correct, sir.
You can actively see when he realizes he's stepped on the rake right in front of him, but he
Yeah.
doesn't know how to sidestep.
Yeah, you just like have to move forward.
He's like, nah, this'll be fine.
Yeah. Like, no, sir. No, it won't be. But you'll find that out soon.
Yes.
No, thank you.
All right, I'm sending the jury out. We're done with this witness. I think we're going to have one additional witness. Please take a break, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then we'll be back with what I expect to be.
I love when he's like, silent, please. Like, I just don't want to have to deal with any of you.
Yeah.
But this is, Dr. John Black, whom I guess the defense got to prove that this was self-defense, like Kyle Rittenhouse. They just
Yeah.
didn't realize they had gotten a Dr. John Black fully into retirement life.
Yeah. So for anybody who didn't watch this in real time, so this case was shortly after the Rittenhouse thing, and Dr. John Black did an amazing job during the Rittenhouse case. And so, like, I think that they went after him thinking that he would, like, be really good for their case, and you'll see what happens.
Well, and I also think because this was maybe a week or so before the Darrell Brooks incident happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, this Edgecombe case was being touted as kind of Rittenhouse if the roles were reversed, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. And you had a lot of people touting it as, well, is self-defense going to be, a thing that can work for, an African-American man in Milwaukee? Because there's none there, I've heard. It was just one of those things where it was really touted as that. And B. Ivory Lamar, I think, came on as that and went on to go on Law and Crime. And, like, this is why, there's implicit bias everywhere because my client didn't get found not guilty and he was using self-defense too.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah. So I think that they did get him mainly for the clout, but I think that because it was B. Ivory Lamar involved, or adjacent, if you will, I don't think that they got all of his, like, clearance to do the expert work
Yeah.
put in time. So he is very limited in what he's allowed to say. And What he's allowed to say is just the most ridiculous BS you have ever heard. But it kind of makes as much sense as the rest of this case does.
Yeah.
Last
It's on
witnesses
theme.
taking the stand. I'll bring the
Yes.
jury in. All right, the jury's back. Ladies and gentlemen, in terms of scheduling, this is the defense's last witness. I expect this witness to be done in the next hour approximately, which means then, based on what I've been
Why does that sound like a threat? That's not like he's going to take about an hour. That's like, if you go an hour and 10 minutes, I will sanction all of you.
I mean, it is Borowski's,
Borowski.
so it's like I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah. I mean, look at it. This poor defense attorney had a full head of hair before he went into Borowski's courthouse.
Well, didn't they also, this is the same case where the defense hired some woman to pretend to be a
Yeah.
police officer or some nonsense like that?
Yes. Their paralegal might
Yes.
have held herself out as a police officer to, okay, objectively, it looked like Banjo Boy all grown up, but still, a witness to the crime.
Yeah. That for some reason that just popped into my head.
Yes, this trial had everything, all the stupid.
Yes. The cafeteria giving you food poisoning to the jurors.
Yes.
Yeah. It was great.
told, I will expect the defense to rest. If there's any rebuttal from the state has told me it's going to be very brief, 1 or 2 witnesses, 10 or 15 minutes. Now, I know when you hear estimates from me and the attorneys, they have a big kind of ish on them. I say go up for 15 minutes and it's 20 minutes, or we say a witness will be short and then they're not exactly short. But this is the defense's last witness. After this witness, we'll discuss finishing and completing the case, including jury instructions and other matters. Sir, if you can stand and raise your right hand, please.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please be seated, state your full name, spell it first and last for the record.
John Black, Johnblack.
He's mellow.
All right. Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, Dr. Black. Can you tell us briefly, what is your occupation?
I'm a consultant. I retired from police work after 23 years. I retired from the military after 30 plus years.
Okay, is it just me and because I'm expecting hit, but does he sound like he took a couple 5 hits off a Dimetap before he walked into the courtroom?
He does sound very different than he did in the Rittenhouse one. But
He's like, let me tell you guys, I like to listen to Bob Ross when I'm driving to these court cases, and it puts me in a real mellow mood. Just think about happy trees,
it
a
would,
little happy tree here.
but like you would think that like if he was really confident in the Rittenhouse one because like there was something to be confident about. But like
Probably. He
in this one,
probably
there's
looked at
not
this
really.
case. He called
So-
the defense. Do you guys actually want me to do a full inspection on this? Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if I inspect this.
Yeah. It's like so maybe
Well,
that's what's going on or something. I don't know.
He looks like a really stoned, Colonel Fried Chicken guy, Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Fried Chicken. That's my new favorite thing. Colonel Fried Chicken.
Hey, when I get my own fried chicken restaurant, I can't name it, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I'm gonna have to name it Colonel Fried, Chicken Guy.
You could just go with Moe's Fried Chicken. And you can sell slidey pies at Moe's Fried Chicken.
Wait, weren't those the things that, do you remember, it's not Home Alone, is it Parent Trap? No, the bad kid, Problem Child.
Yeah.
Okay, wasn't that the thing that the serial killer liked to eat? Slidey pies? They were like moon
Oh.
pies, but. Or smiley pies. Never mind. Also, brain, I can remember smiley pies, but I can't remember like yesterday.
Well, you know, priorities. Your brain has
Look.
priorities.
Look, Dr. John Black and I are, we resemble each other. We have moved on to a higher form of thought.
The areas I consult in include anything from business strategy. I hold a doctorate in business intelligence, how people turn information using decisions, visual information, into actual action. That is
Sounds like a fancy way to say YouTuber.
I mean, I think it's a field of YouTubeology.
Oh my God, I'm going to say I'm a business consultant in like strategology now. Shut up,
In courtroom strategy.
Shut up, y'all. I'm updating my LinkedIn account.
Yes, it's Edgecome.
Yes.
is also linked to, and it deals with how I work and consult in with police agencies and how they deal with anything ranging from use of force to leadership to training and similar.
Okay,
And similar? Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Black, where are you based out of?
I currently am based out of Central Oregon.
He's like, I don't know. I'd say I'm pretty right wing. It's half based, maybe, with mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Central Oregon, you don't say.
Which is a strange thing I would have thought for him, but it also makes sense
You know what? As soon as he gets out of the court look, he's dressed like a total deadhead. He's got, tie-dye on. He's wearing Birkenstocks. Smells of patchouli.
well, like I'm aware that there's a presence of former military, especially special forces, who like that area of the country.
So what you're saying is that if Ish goes down, I should live there instead of Arizona. That being said,
Well, I mean, Arizona's not a good choice just because you'll die because there's no air conditioning.
oh my God. Okay, so I have to tell you, okay, first of all, I hurt Mr. Mo's feelings, but to be fair, and I think I've told this story a couple of times, but to be fair, it doesn't make sense to me. You've remodeled a house, and Mr. Mo has spent 4 months taking all of the paneling off of my old room. So then he decides, I have found the perfect, design idea for you, because I'm kind of like, oh crap, now I have to narrow down the 873 ideas I have into something that also has resale value. I'm like, well, damn, there goes, the stripper pole and the disco ball. The indoor hot tub. Damn it. A sunken indoor hot tub.
I mean, nothing says 70s/80s like sunken hot tub.
I mean, nothing says, how did anyone in the 80s not have 27 broken legs like a sunken living room?
Yeah. Or like, I don't understand the whole glass block bathroom thing either. Sorry,
Yeah,
80s.
I don't get that. Or carpeting in the bathrooms. Who the hell I thought cocaine made you, like, well, why did it make you put carpet into the bathrooms?
That is a good question.
Meredith Baxter Burney, get your ass up here. I need you to explain it to me.
Yeah. I don't understand that one at all.
Yes.
Okay, and you're joining us from there today?
Yes, sir.
You flew in to the Chicago or Milwaukee area?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that you have some experience in law enforcement. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
This is Veilhammer. He's been with us since we started Legal Shenanigans Theater, mostly because he did the background. I'm the idea
And I'm a
chick.
smartass.
Well, yeah. When I started shopping this idea, around, Veilhammer was like, I could probably make that happen. And I was like, well, you're hired.
Yeah. But we have found a collective snark that we share. So
Yes. Yes, so we play well off each other, and I make single entendres that I don't realize until Vale's just dying, snort laughing, and I'm like, oh, did I say something naughty again?
yeah, there's a lot of that.
And I thought, we have like enough of the serious interrogation channels. I mean, if you want to learn about the Reed technique or, strategiology, I mean, we got them, and we got the people that are smart, and I figure we need someone who's a smart ass.
Yeah. There's a balance to life.
Yes. It's the
We're
circle of
bringing
life.
balance to the universe.
Oh my God. So when I get an actual animator person, what I'm going to have them do is go through famous, animated television cartoon movies. And, so it's going to be like the circle of life, but instead it's going to be holding up Legal Shenanigans Theater. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I think it might be copyright impossible, but that's what I'm envisioning. Like Titanic, but Rose is slowly... Tick on it 1 second.
And there is the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh child has made his appearance. But
yes. But basically have a bunch of, the old kind of cheesy movies, but Legal Shenanigans Theater would be in them. So sort of like Friday Night Tights, but not that classy yet. Don't expect that level of production, entertainment value yet.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to... Yeah, he's blazed as all get out. He can barely hold his eyes open.
I believe you said 22 years?
Well, a little over 23 years, but yes.
23 years. And what sort of experience did you have when you used to work in law enforcement? What were your duties?
So I started out as a patrol officer. We had,
Was that before or after the Magna Carta? Just asking for a friend. Just to get a timeline, how old was Joe Biden at that time? Like 19, 20, 40? What are we talking here?
Was this... Wow. Was this pre or post hairy leg story?
Every time you don't think that the world, gives you out equal measure absurdity for all of the bull crap, that story exists. And was a story he was proud of.
Yeah, well... Everyone's grandpa has funny stories. And
Fair.
some grandpas just have more of them.
Yes.
I mean, like...
and then when...
I'm not sure I can share the stories that my grandpa told.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm not sure that the statutes of limitations are done on the ones that my grandpa told me, to be honest. Nor
Like, my grandpa was the kind of guy so like he in his later in life he drove like local truck routes and stuff, like, lumber and stuff to places.
Oh,
But it was
yeah.
all like within a day's drive. So like not over the road trucking or anything. And so we were visiting because we lived overseas at the time. And so we were visiting, and he wanted to take me on one of these little day trips. And so it was like, oh, cool, and all this stuff. And so like my mom had already agreed to this. And then he's like, then a commercial comes on TV for a strip club. And he's like, oh yeah, he's like, that's on the way. He's like, we'll stop there on the way. And it was just like, yeah. So, yeah.
Grandpas are good for that, or crazy uncles.
Yeah. It's always, it's one or the other.
Yeah. If they team up together, you're gonna have a kick-ass childhood, but you're gonna have some broken bones and possibly a juvie record.
Yes. Entirely possible.
Up through the normal ranks that you expect, corporal, sergeant. I also oversaw training. I was a training sergeant for many years. I then, in the agency I was at, I was a lieutenant. The agency that I was at, also in Oregon, had approximately 700 employees, and I did both work on the police side or patrol, as well as corrections. Throughout that time and the different positions that I had, I created the intelligence unit for the detectives. I oversaw, when I was in the detective division, I oversaw anything from homicide to sex crimes to fraud to you name it. When I was in the patrol division, I was an operations lieutenant. I oversaw all the normal things you would associate with patrol operations, responding to calls, staffing, budget, all those type of things, all the way up through. When I was in the
Oh my gosh. How can you make all that, busting, criminals and, bad boys, bad boys? How can you all make all of that sound boring?
Yeah, but it's also like, it's the art of also being able to like say things that are like relatively mundane, like, hey, I was a patrol officer, but make it sound
Yeah.
like the most important thing in the world too. Like, I can't remember. I literally read something just the other day of like somebody who's like, this is how you would put like a light bulb changer on your like on like your resume or your LinkedIn profile or whatever. It was the most fascinating thing. It's like, I installed an illumination devices across the whole business or whatever, and it was just like, and the way that they described it, and it was just like, oh my god, that sounds like the coolest job ever. And it's like, yeah, you just changed light bulbs.
Well, true. I mean, I'd change light bulbs if it was like bringing light to various departments, facilitating, interpersonal dynamics, making sure that technology is functioning.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's exactly what you would have to do to make it sound like it's super important.
Oh my
But
God,
he is
Michael,
making it
that's
sound
why
super
all of
boring.
those recruiters are talking or asking me about my resume that I've never made.
Well, yeah. Those people.
I do wonder. I'm like, I have a couple questions because I haven't made a resume in many a years, so, and I've never had a LinkedIn, so, yeah, kind of have a couple questions as to who's pretending to be me and wants to work with Timu. Because aim higher. Like, even if you're faking being me, I mean, could you aim higher than Timu? Heck
Yeah.
on.
support division, which housed training and everything else, I was also the head of professional standards. And professional standards is usually where the internal affairs review is. So I oversaw internal affairs. I was a internal affairs sergeant, which was an investigator level. And then eventually I was the person that oversaw
Wait.
all of internal affairs as well.
Isn't everybody in internal affairs an investigator? I'm just
You would
asking
hope.
questions.
Someone's just the internals affair perpetrator.
Yeah, like, what else do they do in internal affairs other than
It's like,
investigate?
Earl, what do you do over there in internal affairs? Well, I'm a file clerk, to be honest with you. I
Yeah,
don't know.
It's like they got the donut fetcher. I mean, it's like the coffee fetcher. It's like, but I'm an actual investigator. It's like Jesus. It's like,
Well, someone's got to be the manager,
yeah, they
mean,
got the
who are
pillow
you gonna-
talk lady.
pretty much.
Yeah. And dude, it's 2025.
Yeah. All maternal affairs. I like how the closed captions getting all, gender fluid on us.
Yeah. What? Maternal affairs. What would that be?
The
Your mat-
breastfeeding. He's like, look, I was with La Leche League. I'm not going to say that I taught those women how to lactate, but I did. My name is Dr. John Black.
It would be so much better if whoever had that on their resume, their name was Dr. Milk.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, I mean, there can be maternal affairs somewhere. I'm going to demand that if there's a maternal affairs when I start my, media empire.
Office of Maternal Affairs.
Yeah, it's just basically like where we we go and we pretend like we're doing something, but we're just playing on our phone.
I
Yeah.
help write policy. I created a use of force database. There's just a myriad of functions. I sat as a representative on the Human Rights Council, oversaw the mobile response team.
Okay, his forehead is scaring me.
Yeah, what is that? It's like
I want to say that's the start of a unicorn horn or an aneurysm.
I'll say that's an odd shape for you for a horn. Unless it's gonna split into two.
He's a bi-horned unicorn, also known as a goat.
Yeah. We'll call it Lucy.
Yeah, you might want to get that checked, dude. Like, seriously, that doesn't look healthy.
Yeah.
When the
Yeah.
doctor asks why you came in, just do that with your face. And he'll be like, that.
Like, I'm not sure what that is, but I think it needs to be removed.
When the doctor goes, huh, which they have done to my leg. I had one doctor that said, that's very odd. And I was like, well, this is astoundingly not comforting.
It's like, that's reassuring.
I came to you because I am also stumped, but I figured you had more doctrine than Dr. Google, who says it's either AIDS or glaucoma. So what are we thinking here, Doc? And he's like, this doesn't look, I have not ever seen anything like that. And I was like, well, again, not comforting. do you happen to know anyone that could take a gander at it? Could know something?
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you said that he was stumped and it was your leg, I don't know why, I just find that really funny. I mean, I know you don't have a stump, but
Well, no, I mean, that you know of. I mean, I'm not going to show that until I get on, Only Stumps. Oh my God. Do you think they have an Only Stumps? I mean,
I'm sure they do.
oh my God. Just having, okay, that's a terrible idea, but now I do have to check on incognito and possibly on someone else's computer if they do have Only Stumps. We'll report back next week.
I think wouldn't an Only Stumps be like just a flashlight? I mean,
it could be, I guess.
just asking questions.
We need a Jesse Ventura clip, I'm just asking questions. What? I'm just asking questions.
Yeah.
I was a negotiator for many years. I mean, there's a bunch.
All right, well, that is quite an extensive resume. I want to talk specifically about
Wow, could he be any more bitchy? Like, okay,
Yeah.
dude, that's enough. Like, God, humble brag enough. Like, over here, I had a full head of hair when you started, Mr., Dr. Black.
Yeah. It's like, well, that's what you get for asking an open-ended question. You stupid lawyer.
Yeah.
out in your experience in law enforcement, did you utilize
Why did he look down like he couldn't remember the word experience?
Maybe he's having a difficult time with his experience right now. He's like, I know I'm going to remember
Or
this years from
were you
now.
familiar with video, graphic, or video evidence?
Oh,
I love if you have seen Joe Dirt, where he's like, my name is Joe Dirte. I love how they have tried to church up. Have you looked at video footage before? It's videographic.
Yeah, they do that with so many things now, though.
It's forensic videography, if you will. Like, shut up, Earl. You used to work at a Kinko's, okay?
Yeah.
I was like, look, I majored in photography. It's like, no, Earl, you used to work at the 1 hour video, return. Shut up.
Yeah. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. If you're in Mo's Discord, you need to go look.
Oh,
'Cause speaking of only
why am I
stumps,
scared? Wait, is this in general or
you got tagged in it.
well, that doesn't narrow it down? You guys know
I'm pretty
suck at
sure it's
this.
in general. But if you're in Mo's
Okay.
Discord, y'all need to go check out the Only Stumps post.
Oh God, no!
Oh dear. What have we
Hands
done?
down, the best catch on Tinder. So this woman might be an amputee, and look, she makes fun of it, which is what I would do. But okay, yes, apparently there isn't only stumps. And God bless them. Everyone from furries to stumpies should find love. Probably gonna get a letter from class actions from Americans, limbless Americans. Like, the use of the word stumpy is like our no word. How dare you? And be like, well, what do you want me to call? Okay, limbless American.
Yeah, I don't know what the proper terminology is for that.
Okay, tripod American. Like, I don't think that. Well, perhaps we should come up with more politically correct names, because I don't think I can come up with good ones. I mean, ones that won't become hate crimes.
Yeah, I don't know what, like, I know there's a lot of words used for different things nowadays, but I don't know what the right ones are anymore.
Yes, I mean, because seriously, honestly, we have talked about this, but prostitute sounds classier than sex worker to me. I don't know. It sounds like you could almost French it up, like prostitute. Like it might be some kind of hors d'oeuvre that you've never heard of before. But sex worker sounds like, okay, well, there is the hoe wash over there. Now they will also rotate your tires and work on your undercarriage, but just you're not going to be safe from rust if you use one of them.
Work on your undercarriage. They'll shine the chrome on your vehicle.
See, this is why I wish I could do animations, because in my head, it's like working at the hoe wash, and
At
they're
the
just
hoe
all women
wash.
twerking on the car.
At the hoe wash.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Disney, if you need, I mean, a fish story or a shark's tale kind of worked. I think, a hose tail could kind of work.
The host tail.
Homeward bound, if you will.
You could go like an American hoe.
Probably. That would be great. Now thinking of not corrupt, actually thinking of total corrupt, my childhood movies, but just with horse.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm doing too. I'm like, a land before hoes.
Hose. Yeah. Homeward bound, the incredible journey.
And it's really funny that you said that because
Because you could still have Sassy, Chance, and Shadow, because those could be stripper names.
I mean, it's better than like Candy, right?
True.
Sorry if anybody's named Candy.
What's another one from it? I don't know. My Two Hoes. No, they did. Remember that show? So it wasn't on for very long, but it was My Two Dads, which
Yeah.
should have been just named My Mom Was a Whore. Well, I mean, because I didn't get it when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
looking back as an adult, wait a minute. So first you find out your mom dies of like cancer or syphilis or whatever she died of, and then you have like your accountant dad, but then cool photographer guy comes and's like, "Hey, I might be your dad too." So not only do you lose your mom, but you find out she was kind of a slag.
I mean, you could go with like Hoe House or Full Hoe House, whichever you prefer.
What would the equivalents to cats, rules, dogs, drool? I guess gigolos. I mean, because honestly, look, to be fair, I think dudes, you get the short end of the stick, if you will, because they're not visually attractive. No one's going to pay, nor should they, to have one of them just flopped in someone's face. I mean, I've heard of Chippendales. I'm just not sure the appeal, okay? So, strippers rule and Chippendales drool.
Okay. From this vantage point, I can't disagree with you. No hoes on the block.
We
Dancing
basically
with
use it
hoes.
daily. If you think about it, a robbery comes in and we have maybe some traffic cam or some other type of video evidence or cell phone evidence or cameras from an ATM. As a patrol officer, we use video evidence for eyewitness lineups or something similar to that. Regardless, it is a form of evidence and it was used, I can't think of a time when it wasn't. In corrections, I would take a look at use of force complaints, for example, or something similar. And if you notice, like you see in here, in public.
Jesus. Oh.
I don't know, and I feel like people would get offended if I asked them. I don't feel like they wouldn't see it for its intention, which would be for science.
Oh. And maybe the greatest show name of all time, King of the Hose.
Oh my God, he could sell pimp. He's a pimp and he has pimp accessories. He's a
Exactly.
pimp. Oh my God, that would be the greatest show. They are gonna redux King of the Hill.
Except for
So-
this time, Bobby is the star of the show. So like Bobby is the king of the
Bobby was the star of the show ever since the
Well, he
episode
was.
where he was like, "That's not your purse, and I don't know you."
I like the one where Hank made him smoke carton of cigarettes.
Yeah. He's like, "You're smoking like a Frenchman. Stop that."
Yeah. Oh dear.
I always felt bad for Bobby because God love him. Hank just wants to love his son, and it's like they speak just absolute, completely different languages.
Yeah, them dang video games.
Yeah, video
You're
games.
like, damn it, Bobby.
Yes. And Bobby's just laid back, chill. Like Bobby is the most emotionally just normal person in there. He's like, look, I like my fruit pies. Mom, he's like, Mom, I'm a fat kid. I'm okay with it because you make me okay with it, Mom. Look, I'm husky. That's just what I am.
He's the most aware, like, preteen ever.
I know. And then Dale's my
Oh,
Dale's
God,
my
yeah.
favorite. Look,
Gribble.
I love Dale. And John Redcorn every time he's in a scene, his hair's blowing in the wind.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Poor
oh,
Dale. He just never knew Nancy.
Yeah. Nancy likes red corn
Yeah.
on a cob.
Facilities, we have cameras, and so there would be video evidence, and you would review that video evidence. But
Okay. And just to stop you right there, Doctor, you also mentioned that you had some military
Look, you paid him by the hour, and this man is charging you for 4 hours, whether you like it or not, son.
Yeah.
That face when he interrupts.
Yeah. He's like,
Oh
excuse
my
me.
God, we need to get Dr. John Black and Steve Gosney together because what do you bet they could have either written an article or a standard of operating procedure on that. They could have an off of that. Like I've written something about that off.
They could, yeah. I don't know who would actually win that. Is there a winner in that? Are we the winners in that?
We're the winners in that because we make each time they say that Steve Gosney has to drink another sidecar.
And he has to take another gummy.
Oh my God. There'd be 2 articles in. The stream would be derailed, but it would be look, it would heal America. I say you guys need to do this.
Yeah. I agree.
Not only to heal America, for my amusement.
But mainly for the healing of America.
Yeah. I mean, 2 things can be true at once.
experience. Is that correct?
yes, sir.
And in your role at the military, can you tell us what sort of video or videographic evidence you had experience with while you were in the military?
He's like, son, when I was in Nam, there were no video cameras, okay? Charlie was everywhere.
Yeah. That's probably the war that he was in, or when he was in.
Well, I was trying to think. No, to be fair,
Maybe Cold War.
he was probably in the Gulf War, if any war. We're just so
Yeah.
used to thinking 30 years back was the 70s when it was more the 90s.
Yeah.
Which, God, now I feel old.
It could have been like Panama, Grenada, because he was in SF, so it could have been Panama or Grenada. Some other things that happened down in South America.
He's like, I was in a little known thing called the Bay of Pigs. I mean, working in Cuba for no reason.
Yeah. Or that whole little thing with that Pablo Escobar guy.
Well, look,
Because
who do you think, fed his cocaine hippos? Dr. John Black right there. Balls of steel, that man. He's like, come on, hippos. Just fed the cocaine hippos.
yeah. Well, I mean, like there was U.S. participation in the hunting of Escobar by a unit called the Activity. That's literally what it used to be called. I mean, it changes
Well,
its
I
name
mean-
every few years, but
Well, because Miami Vice was taken.
well, I think originally it was like Gray Fox or something like that, which goes back to something that happened in like George Washington's time. Blah blah blah. I know way too much about this crap.
I was about to say, They should have me for like super secret names because I'd be like cocaine, hippos.
They're like, is this for Pablo? Like, no, this is for Bin Laden.
Yeah, or, you know, something like Team America Force, something Merca and then something Durka, then the last word.
Oh,
Look, that shit will never not be funny when they spend, a good montage, getting him into his spy undercover costume.
yeah.
That shit could not be made today.
No, it could not. And like, it's such a funny movie, but like, still, this stupid like love scene, we'll call it, is so uncomfortable. It's like,
It is
I don't think
so
I can sit here and watch.
flippin' long.
Yeah.
Because if you have children who do not listen to you, like mom and dad are going to watch an adult movie, but not like an adult movie, just like a movie that,
It's
even though
not
it
rated
has
for
puppets.
children.
Yeah, yeah. So, and swear to God, they would leave and I hear creaking and then you try to fast forward through that scene. No, it is like full 5 minutes of
Yeah. And it's like,
puppet fucking.
yeah, it's like, what's G.I. Joe doing to Barbie? Like, don't ask. Like,
Yeah, and it is, gratuitous in a way that's hilarious unless you're trying to fast forward with, trying to keep smut away from your children. And it's like, God dang it, how long is this scene? What the hell? And Mr. Moe is just horrified because this is the first time he's ever seen this. And you tried to kind of explain that scene to him,
yeah.
but you can't really paint a picture with words. It's like Pocahontas. Can you paint with all the degeneracy
Colors of the
Trey and Matt Parker? Like, no, you can't.
Yeah, it's uncomfortably long. Like, it really is an uncomfortably long scene, and it's just like,
Can you imagine? Because they had to do like stop motion animation. How long that took? Like, every day for 6 months, you're just doing the puppet lover scene. Like, what are we doing today? Missionary for the next 3 weeks, Earl.
yeah, it's a rough one. It's funny. Like, the first time you see it, like, it's super awkward, and like, it gets funnier as you watch it more and more. But like, it's still uncomfortably awkward, like long and awkward.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I hold a lot of what they call military occupational specialties. One of those specialties I hold is a special operations specialty, which is known as intelligence and
If you could speak up.
Speak up, please.
understood, is a special operations specialty known as intelligence.
And if you've ever been in the military, you'll know that that is an oxymoron. That being said, he's intelligent, I'm sure. He probably got the good info. Or at least the good MREs.
In intelligence and operations, you commonly look at different forms of intelligence, which could include things like imagery intelligence, electronic intelligence, human intelligence. I was a intelligence.
Now, it's at this time that you remember that at some point we're supposed to be talking about this particular crime. And you realize that this man has been talking for about, well, good on 7 minutes, and we haven't gotten to a single point. Which is, oh yeah, how crazy do you have to be when you attacking your attorney is like every Tuesday or going to the DMV? It's just what happens. Also, why did they let her go into the courtroom? Like, she looks crazier.
I did see that. I didn't actually like the thing that I saw that popped up. Like, it showed the old one, and I'm like, oh, like, this is from like a couple years ago. I'm like, what are they talking about? And then I was like, oh, she actually did it again, but I haven't actually seen the video. And I'm like, why was she even in court in the first place?
Yeah, I haven't even looked fully into it. I was just like, oh, Taylor being Taylor again.
Yeah, like I assume that what she's in court for is like the assault on the
Oh, yeah.
guards, I assume.
Probably. Or the assault on her attorney.
Well, which irony. It
You
was like,
know.
but was this time like an actual, oh, like, have you seen the video or not?
Yeah, she just kind of charges him. So I don't know if that was a man or a woman that like kind of clotheslines her. But she kind of does this like feral run. Like, okay, I hate to compare it to this, but if you have been forced to watch Twilight, you know that kind of jump scene right before the werewolves turn into a werewolf, so they're kind of running, but sort of like all fours on two. So it kind of looks, or in the Unbreakable thing where the guy, frailty maybe, I don't. Anywho,
I'm
I don't
gonna say
remember where I'm going with that.
I haven't seen Twilight, so I'm like, I don't know. I heard sparkly vampires, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Pretty much. That being said, I don't know where I was going after that. I'm sure my train of thought will come back again. Oh, yeah. No. So, yeah. Okay, I remember. So she kind of does that feral, like, all fours kind of hunched over run, but not completely on her knuckles, too, if that makes any sense. And a bailiff comes in out of nowhere and like clotheslines her as her attorney just does the kind of like hands up, what are you gonna do, it's a Tuesday kind of look.
This sounds funny. I need to see this. And all you
Yeah, I
people
think
saying
it's,
stuff about WrestleMania, I was like, I need to see this.
well, it does kind of look like she's kind of vamping coming out to the court or wrestle mat, whatever it is, the little thing that you wrestle on.
The ring?
Okay, whatever you
Is that
call it. I was
is that
like,
what you mean?
the field? Yeah.
Okay, the field, the pitch. We'll call it the pitch. Because
Hey,
it's
look,
about as soccer.
well, true.
Sorry,
Less red
guys.
cards.
I thought it was cool when I was a kid too, but then I found out it was fake.
Well, I'm always proud when I hear it's fake and stuff because it looks like they're really getting hurt. So,
Now, to be fair, it's not fake. It's staged, right? Like they
oh,
do get hurt and sometimes they
oh,
do hit each other and stuff, but like it's not fake. It's just staged.
okay. Well, whatever it does, I'm just saying if every day I went into work and fake hit someone with a folding chair, I think I'd be the happiest Mo I'd ever be in my entire life.
Well, we're sending Mo to WrestleMania then. I think women wrestle now. I don't know. Like I'm way
Well,
out of
yeah, but they
touch.
do it mostly naked. And look, I'm like, not for nothing. I have more rage than these women have, but because I'm older than my 20s. But look, if there's a wardrobe malfunction on those chicks, their boobs you want to see. There's a wardrobe malfunction on me. I have to pay for therapy for a bunch of emotionally disturbed teenagers.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't keep up with it anymore. Like I started like when I discovered that there was actual like people who got into cages and they fought. That's when like I was like, oh, like there are people who really do this for. And that's
Yeah,
when
but they
everything kind of
actually
changed.
bleed, and oh my God, there's like highlights, and they kick a guy, and then his bone kicks out of his leg. No,
Oh
no,
yeah, you
I
have
will
to.
take fake. I will take fake everything, so I don't, cause they don't warn you when you are just flipping through the YouTubes,
Yeah.
and and you're trying to learn about sports stuff, and it's like, oh, highlights from the latest MMA, and then you don't
Yeah.
realize that highlights are like severe concussions and like bones being out of. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And they're all smiling, holding up like a thing, and I'm like, okay, we're happy,
Yeah.
I guess.
Because you're talking about either Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman, or Corey Hill.
Okay,
I
I
know
don't know,
exactly
but
what
one
you're
of
talking
them is
about.
like, I was like, welcome to the Cripple Club. Remember
Yeah.
when you used to have an ab? That's never going to happen again.
Actually, two of them continued fighting.
Okay, if
In
God like causes your bones to splinter when you're kicking someone, it is a sign. Like, look, I got hurt walking, which I basically took as a tacit sign from God that I was never to be anything, doing anything physical, of a sports type relation. Now, if God had shattered my leg as I was trying to kick the crap out of someone else, I would take it as a sign that maybe kicking the crap out of people isn't my sport, and I'd move to arm wrestling.
here's your sign.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. ESPN, hire me. I don't know that I would have a sizable audience, but look, I'd explain sports the way that wives would understand it. Like, look, I don't know what the hell they're doing, but they're wearing tight pants, so let's listen to it.
Is that all it takes? Is they just have to be in tight pants?
Look, it has been the reason I continue to try to watch football for the years that I have. Also, why I watch figure skating, though there may or may not be the same sort of reciprocal, attention back.
I haven't watched baseball in forever, but I was scrolling through Twitter the other day. I don't know if this is recent or if this is something that's old. That some dude a batter got hit in the head with a pitch, and the batter swung the bat at the catcher, and the benches cleared. And I was like, holy crap. I'm like, I might be able to watch baseball now.
Well, I mean, I could do an entire thing on sports if we went back to American Gladiators. Like, that's a sport I understood. And the games changed so I didn't get bored. And,
Yeah.
you had, Blaze and Laser, and, I always wanted to be like Glitter, and I was going to shoot people with a, cannon. Look, one of these days, like, if I win the lottery, they're not gonna, like, I'm not gonna shout at it about it or anything. But if I have a roof-mounted couple of tennis ball cannons, I mean, I'm not gonna put on airs or nothing. I'm not gonna act all high and mighty, but there might be signs.
Yeah. I know we have gone like way off track here, but like
Look,
there's a game show that I used to love, and I have recently discovered it. That somebody has recorded all of the episodes and put that on YouTube, and
oh my
I always
gosh.
called it the No Whammy Show.
Oh
Press
yeah,
your luck.
yeah, Press Your Luck. I love
Yes.
that show. Bring back Press Your Luck.
It's amazing. It's like
It is the best show.
yeah,
And I think
it's
they
so
had
good.
ashtrays on the podium. I mean, it was so 70s. Like, they were mid smoking, mid putting on the blue eyeliner. Like,
Yeah, like but it was a fun show, and then like it's so funny when like people are like excited to win like $100 or whatever because
oh
it's
yeah.
the 70s. It's like, hey, you could buy a car with that, um, which is also sad at the same time. It's
Yeah.
like you realize that
Okay.
like this person won 20 grand and like they can buy a house, right?
All right. So Mr. Mo has said no to the Resident Evil laser,
Security system.
security system. But what do you think? Like, okay, would it be considered child abuse if, like, I've already warned the ferals that I'm going to be streaming, and if one of them tries to bother me, all you hear is a thunk, and then Mom be like, laser bitch.
I was like, are you gonna install a tennis ball cannon in your room?
I'm not saying I could.
Oh, there was I I will try to find it. I will send you a link. There's actually a funny kind of version of this that like they used to have, like, if anybody remembers the website Think Geek, it's not longer no longer a thing, but they had these like cool little like geeky office supplies, and there was like a little Nerf
cool.
cannon that you could stick on your
Oh my
desk that was
God.
USB powered, and you could like turn it and stuff, and like you could launch a rocket at somebody.
This is why I have never been in an office, but I don't think I would do well in an office.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean,
But I would
it's
have
good when
12
you
of
work with a bunch of
those.
other nerds, though. It's like, because we all understand each other.
Yes. I just had to wait for the internet to become a thing before I found my people. They were just all scattered around the globe.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's get back to this man talking about nothing. And his thing on his forehead keeps continuing to scare me. It's gotten bigger. Now it looks like Lake Michigan.
I think Ryan Hall would call that a dangly bit.
We've got some rotation here. So that's a definite hook pattern. I'm going to tell you, if you see this, you need to get into shelter.
Yeah.
We may or may not have both confessed to be watching the news or the weather like it is our gerb.
Yeah. And by the way, if anybody does live in the South, especially like Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, like Louisiana, y'all need to be paying attention, because like from what I have it still playing in the background, and like it looks like kind of spicy. So y'all
Yeah.
need to be paying attention to what is going on.
Yeah, and if you're in the Midwest, we are looking at a lot of flooding. I wasn't quite joking when I said I'm, recording from the Ark, because, it's very possible that some of my roads in my county will be closed down tomorrow if it continues raining. Again, I don't think we angered God, but Kevin Spacey still exists. So
Yeah. And all
I'm
I
gonna get
get,
up to heaven, and God's gonna be like, I love all of my creations, even Kevin Spacey. And I'll be like, God, but have you met him? And he's like, look, I know, but I was in a jerk phase, okay? It was
But-
the 80s.
but all I get is some wind, and it's cold outside again. And it's like, I don't know. It makes me sad that it's cold outside again. It's like 20 something degrees.
It's cooling down back here too, and I was like, if this turns into sleet, I have already been sitting in my foot bath doing basically nothing all day today because cold rain is not my jam. Making Mr. Mo, and Mr. Mo just keeps looking at me with this smug look on his face, like, Arizona's not looking so bad now, is it? And I was like, no, Arizona still looks stupid.
Yes, it looks nice right now, but give it a month.
Yeah, I'm like,
When it's
yeah,
120
and they
degrees.
Yeah. Again, trash cans melting into the fucking road, okay? If that is not a sign from God that no one is supposed to live there, I don't know what else is.
Yeah. It's an interesting place. But once, if you're not in Phoenix, if you're not like in the valley, in the bowl at the top of the mountain,
Yeah, I mean, I've heard
if you're
that there's-
elsewhere, it's
so-
okay.
Yeah, so Mr. Mo is telling me to like go pick out random places in like Arizona and New Mexico and think of day trips.
Yeah.
And he was gonna have me fly, and I was like, why do you hate me? Like, I thought you wanted me to survive. I thought we were in this marriage thing for forever, and you want me to get on an airplane? Like, have you watched the news in the last week
Yeah.
or month?
Well, and little tip, it's cheaper to fly to Vegas and then to just drive like the 2 hours or whatever it is to Phoenix. It's a lot cheaper.
Yeah. So here's my problem with all of this. My social anxiety is, or look, my indoor catness is just like, I'm even just thinking of having to go to the airport is making my ass tired.
At least it's not making it pucker. So, I mean, you,
Well, that's not until they, announce which, pilot has my thing, and they're like, "This is my first time flying." I feel like, damn it, all to hell. Why did I do this? To go to fucking Arizona, too. It'd be like that Alanis Morissette song. She waited her whole damn life to go to Arizona, and the plane crashed down, and she thought, fucking Arizona, really?
Yes. Actually, I completely forgot. Have you heard of a haboob,
I do
Mo?
what now?
A haboob.
No.
Oh my God. It's actually kind of a cool thing. So, like, in Arizona, it doesn't rain that often, but they do get
Okay.
these things called haboobs. And essentially, what it is, it's a giant dust storm. But, like, you can watch this wall of dust, like, moving, and it turns like, where I work downtown, it turns everything brown. Like, you can barely see and stuff.
Okay,
Like,
so I'm
it's a
gonna
crazy
relive
thing.
the Dust Bowl. I've already relived the 70s and gas rationing and egg rationing, and now I want to go back to the 30s.
Yeah, like it's a fascinating thing when it happens, but like I thought people were like messing with me because I had just moved there and they're like, a haboob is coming. I'm like, wait, I'm sorry, a what is coming? And they're like, yeah, exactly. A boob? What? I don't understand. And like they explained it to me and I'm like, you mean a dust storm? And they're like, no, a haboob. And I'm like,
What? Okay,
basically
where
you're
did the
describing a dust
haboob?
storm.
Yeah, why did the terminology haboob come out? Because I guess.
I don't know. I'm assuming it has something to do with like not to be incredibly sound terrible, but like this is something that happens a lot in the Middle East, where there's things. Maybe they call them haboobs
Oh,
there and not dust
well, I
storms.
was going to think from the early, Titicaca tribe,
Well, like it's the whole thing where like they came up with like, we used to call them wind storms and now they
Oh,
call them
yeah.
like Doritos or something.
Oh, Dorachos.
Oh yeah, yeah, Dorito or whatever. And it's like the first time I heard it, I'm like, why is there a giant Dorito coming at us? Like I don't understand. Like it just it makes no sense why we call these things like haboobs. It's like to be the person who named a dust storm a haboob, like you have to
Well,
be
I
the
mean,
greatest
to be
person
fair, pain in
ever.
the ass was probably taken.
It's like, how can we make this slightly funnier? It's like, we know it's going to get everything dirty, but like, how can we make it funny, right? It's like, let's throw the word boob in there.
I mean, yeah, because, you wouldn't call it a hapeen. I mean, that's not
Yeah,
funny, but haboob is funny.
yeah, because, it's
A
funnier.
nut would have been funny too.
But wouldn't that be like, a nut? Wouldn't that have to do with something with like a downspurt of rain or something?
That's it. If I ever get to be president, flash flood is no longer going to be a flash flood. It will be a hanut to go with a haboob. You're welcome, America. Vote for Mo.
Yeah, exactly. uh,
Intelligence officer, we routinely used video or videographic surveillance, satellite imagery, whatever, as a form of intelligence.
Okay, so just to sum that up, you used
Could we sum it up where this has anything to do with the case? Like, at this point, I think that the prosecutor has gone into power down mode like a Roomba that's not in use right now.
and I'm sorry, I'm going to say something that's going to be wildly offensive, but
That's
you know what would
totally
fit
acceptable here.
what would be perfect on this defense attorney's head? If he had a yarmulke, it would completely cover that bald spot on his head.
No, I say you lean into the Friar Tuck look. You come in robes. You wear a little, the piece of rope as a, thing. You always have a flask for some
Yeah.
reason. Or at
You
least
could-
that's all my friars.
You could go either way, either the friar tuck or, getting a yarmulke, like whichever you prefer. But like,
I feel
I was
bad
just
for
looking
this.
at it.
I do feel bad for this guy because it's like everyone at the state table has just, given into the fact that it's given up. And he
Yeah.
still has hope. Like, no, if I get hair transplants, they'll take my back hair. No one will notice.
It's like, brother, ain't nothing helping that. Trust me.
Or they have a wife like me. So I will tell you that Mr. Mo has like okay, maybe a silver dollar size, bald spot that I never told him about. Because, there's nothing he can do about it. He couldn't see it. So, when he used to say he had a full head of hair, I used to just smile and say yes. And, I know it was a lie, but look, it'd be like telling me I have a SpongeBob SquarePants butt. I mean, I'm not going to get a Brazilian butt lift, and I already kind of know. So, I mean, at this point, telling me is just, reminding me of the mirror's cruelness. So I had not told him, and this had been growing for like a couple years. And my youngest, most feral child, in the gentlest way, decided to inform my husband, "You've got a big old bald spot. Do you know you're bald? Like right there in the back here. It's huge. Huge." And Mr. Mo looks at me, and I'm like, he's like, "I have a bald spot." And I was like, "I never noticed, dear. You're taller than me. How was I to know?"
That's a
I
good
never
one,
look
though.
at the back of your head. I mean,
Yeah.
it's taller than me. He's like, "What about when I sat down?" I was like, "Well, I mean, I got
I mean,
nothing."
it's like,
I
I don't walk
reacted in
behind you.
self-defense. I have
The
accepted
extremities.
responsibility for my actions.
Oh, you could have used extremities correctly. Be like, my extremities were distracting me, so I wasn't paying attention.
Look,
In
it's
self-defense.
shiny, and I kind of like it. Look, I'm a little bit hillbilly, so it kind of sparkles like a bass boat, and I was attracted to it, so I wasn't going to tell you nothing.
Uh, uh,
Look, when the sun bounces off of it, sometimes I don't have to turn the light on when I'm doing my cross stitch, so I didn't want to tell you.
it's like when the sun reflects off of it. It's like you look like you have a halo. So I know I found you, love.
So then he had me take a picture of it.
And he's like, "Holy crap!"
And I was like, "You're catastrophizing. It's only like the size of a 50-cent piece." And he's like, "When did you first notice it?" And I was like, "A quarter." So like half a 50.
And he's like, "And when was this?" He's
And
like,
I
"I
was
feel
like-
like I'm being interrogated. I want a lawyer."
I know. I was like, I reacted. Can you repeat the question? And I just did the Theodore Edgecome until he lost the will to live.
That's funny. I gave up like when I realized that, like, because I used to have long hair and then I shaved it all off for a hilarious reason, and then I tried growing it back and I realized that things were thinning out on top, and I'm like, all right, I give up. I'm like, and I've shaved my head ever since.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the only thing that pisses me off with guys that have long hair are the guys that actively do nothing to it and it's got volume and it's beautiful and it's shiny, and I'm just like, screw you.
You would have hated me back then.
You're like, "What product do you use?" And he's like, "Dawn."
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, whatever's in there.
Like,
Which
you're like
I don't even
hand
know what it was.
sanitizer.
Yeah, it was like, it was in a green bottle. Wasn't, I don't remember what it was. It was
You're
green
like
though.
pert.
That might actually been what it was. I don't know.
And
I know I
women
haven't
have,
seen
like,
it.
totes upon totes upon totes of crap that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Just
I
to
was
get
like,
our hair to look one day like kind of nice, and then you guys just put it, like, take it out of the messy bun, and then it's like John Redcorn, and you're like, "Oh, fuck you. Go paint with all the colors of asshole."
yeah, that's kind of how mine was. It was just, and I had it
I
in a
hate you.
ponytail. Yeah. It's, hey, I can't grow hair no more. So you
See,
win.
God got you back for that. See, God, that's how you know God's a woman. She's petty like that.
It's like, you're going to enjoy this for like 18 years and then like, it's just screw you.
Yeah. It's like one day you're gonna feel all sexy, like you're on the front of a Whitesnake album. The next minute you got no hair on top, you look like you need a yarmulke. It's gonna be ugly.
Yeah. Yamaka man.
All right, let's try this. We're not gonna get through this. No one can get through this.
Video and video evidence or surveillance as a form of intelligence to do your work in the military.
That would be fair.
Okay. Now, in this case, you were retained.
Do you think he can shop in the junior section for his suits?
I mean,
Like, I
I
bet
did,
he could get teens, or at least like kids.
but he has to go to like the lanky kid section because like his sleeves aren't long enough. Like it's because
True.
his hand is sticking so far out from like where his shirt ends. Like, because I know your suit coat is supposed to like come up a little bit and stuff, but like his hand is sticking so far out that it just looks weird to me.
Well, it's also he has like skinny pants on. I don't get men's suits. I mean, that looks like in The Office when Michael accidentally bought a lady's suit.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand the skinny pants thing. Guys, if you wear skinny pants, I'm sorry, but I automatically think less of you. And I'm
I judge
not
you.
really sorry.
I judge you. If my daughters bring you home, or even my sons, I'm gonna judge you.
Yeah.
Especially my son. If my son brings you home as a gay, you should know better, okay? Like I'm gonna double judge you, okay? That's
Yeah.
the thing. Like that's the problem.
I
My
just
poor son.
I don't
It's like,
understand it.
Mom, I'm not gay. I'm like, I signed you up for the Pride Parade. Mom, why?
It's because you're wearing skinny pants.
Because you're wearing skinny pants, I just assumed you hadn't, felt comfortable coming out to us, and I was gonna say I'm A-okay with it. Now, I
Yeah.
also got you a leash because I didn't know like how we were supposed to show up to these pride parades, but I want to show my support. So, do you wear the pup outfit, or like do you find a furry? Like, see, that's how I would be so supportive, but I'd be supportive like that.
Yeah. I just don't understand the concept of tight pants like for guys. I just don't understand
They're
it.
just not comfy looking. Like, why would you want to wear leggings as a dude? Like, as
Yeah.
a girl, I don't have nothing in there to get squished up.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
And
like, what about the balls? I mean, like, I don't understand. It's going to squeeze them, and it's going to make it very uncomfortable. I just don't understand. I don't get it.
okay, so John, would it be wrong to feed someone else's pup? Like, if I took pup treats to the parade, do I have to ask the owner if I can give them like a Hershey's Kiss or not? Or do I just, is it like a service animal?
Jesus. uh,
I'm sure I'm the only person that's ever asked that question, but I would ask that question like, hey, is it like a service animal thing? Can I pet your partner, or is he working right now?
uh, oh, we found a tight pant wearer. Sorry, Greg. I mean, if it's your thing, it's your thing. I get it, but like, I don't understand. I really don't.
Oh, okay, so apparently there are rules, and you're going about it the right way. You ask the owner or dom if you can give him treats. I mean, okay, here's the problem is I couldn't laugh, or I couldn't ask without laughing. So while it
Yeah.
would seem appropriate, look,
I mean,
I don't mean offense, I'm just gonna snort laugh.
it's like, I get it if it was a dog, like an actual dog. But if it's a person, I'm like, no. Like, I just, no.
Wait, do you get to wait? Because now I'm just thinking about having people like someone doesn't pick up after their pup, and you've got like, look, we left bags out there for a reason. For a
do you-
reason, Claude. Damn it.
Do you rub their noses in it? I mean, like, where does it stop?
I don't want to know. I hope not. Please, God, no. I'm not German
Don't
enough.
answer that,
My
John.
mom did my 23andMe, and I'm pretty sure I'm not German enough to enjoy any of that. And if you want to, if you're comfy with it, like I say, I have no problems with anything. I just ask all the ridiculous questions.
Yeah, as long as
I don't.
there's no
Uh,
adulty stuff, no
yeah.
NSFW.
Like, yeah. I mean, although,
Now she's
is
curious.
that called business casual then?
Only
Is
business
that like a
casual
black tie
pictures.
affair if you're not, nude? I have so many questions.
I don't want to know the answers.
Well, like in a nudist camp, is it bring your own towel? Is that considered, like considerate? Or do you take Lysol wipes? Or does like do all the places just have like customary Lysol wipes? Or
I
do you just have are all of the couches covered in that plastic from your grandma's?
I think it's just air drying. I don't think he used towels. I don't know, but I'm just gonna assume you just air dry.
Well, but I mean, yeah, I'm gonna say I feel much more comfortable in nature if I'm all clothed. But that's me.
Yeah, well, you know.
Look, I'm too
Oh.
susceptible to poison ivy. And I can never remember which plant you're supposed to look for, so I'm just not gonna chance it, y'all.
I don't know.
By the
They-
defense to educate the jury as to video evidence generally. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, without getting into the specifics of the actual facts of this case or the actual video in this case, I just wanted to discuss some of the concepts that come into play when there is video.
I think it was at this point that Rackets was like, what the hell do they have this man on here for?
Probably, yeah. Speaking of nudists.
I could see him as a nudist, but he'd fall asleep because he invented the standard operating procedures for, emergency egress on, fire days.
Well, apparently you haven't seen the pictures from places. Because, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, I really just want him to wear a hat and cover his forehead. So I mean, honestly, if he covers his forehead, I'm okay. I'm such an ass.
Bad tattoos and that, yeah.
Evidence. So, can you tell us just basically, and I'm sure this is an obvious question or an answer, but what is the difference between, video that we're seeing versus what we see with our eyes in the real world?
Okay, so this answer also comes from I'm certified in video evidence at what's called an examiner.
Wait, you need to be certified in videographicology to understand that there's a difference between your eyes and a camera. Now, I'm not going to say you're padding your resume, sir, but I mean, I'm not, what you would call a technological genius, but I can understand the differences between, a Polaroid and, my eyeballs.
It sounds like the question I think we brought it up last week. The Halderson thing. That she's like, when I was in law school, she's like, or whatever. She's like, if I was a juror, I'd have to be an idiot or whatever. Or whatever it was that she said that was like highly offensive.
Because she was like, yeah, as a juror, and she said like juror. It was a real weird way she had said it, but also she's like, you have to think with logic and not emotions, not jump to conclusions. It was that toniology too. It was that sort of rhythm too. 'Cause
Yeah.
she also talked to them like, okay, like every time Mr. Mo has to talk to me when he's talking about the computer, like, did you
Yeah.
turn it on? I mean,
It's-
there's a 50-50 chance that did not happen.
It sounded like all those videos of Karens who are being Karens.
Yes.
That's what it sounds like.
Yes, and And it almost and she did sound, it was really quavery at the beginning. Like, Chandler what the hell is his name again? Chandler Halderson is a normal kid. And he does normal things.
Yeah, she sounded very confused.
And a metrological
Well, I mean,
level
have
in
you
how you
seen the
process and
case?
use video evidence. And one of the things you learn during these certifications, and you learn from
puzzler.
the experience I just described, is that the video itself is very good. It has great use in looking at the objective parts of the world. We can see things move on it. We can see cars and people and other things that we would normally see in an
He has to be thinking the easiest money I have ever made. Like, what do you see on video? Well, is it Team World Star? Because I usually, I mean, if I'm scrolling through, say, closed caption TV, I'd like to see me a good IHOP fight.
Yeah. It
I love he's like using it for good, and I'm like, have you seen those women throw down at 3 a.m. at IHOP? It's amazing.
yeah. It's a dumb question. Like, I don't know. The question is
He's
stupid.
not a dumb expert, but this is the most, I'm going to use you just to have your name on this. Like, this is like James Cameron produced, bullshit.
Yeah.
Insert name of movie that didn't do so well, but you saw James Cameron or Steven Spielberg and you thought, okay, well, maybe it won't be crap.
Yeah. Or like the dude who, like, what's the guy who does all the explosions that everybody makes fun of?
James Bay.
Yeah, Michael Bay. Yeah.
Michael Bay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand.
Okay,
Like,
and also, Michael Bay. Like, in any universe, would Megan Fox, the dumb one, go with weenie whiny Shia LaBeouf, even if she was being paid? Like, no, never.
But it's to give all the sorry, nerdy people hope.
Even if he let me drive the Camaro, no. No, look, I'm not saying that had I been stuck with him, had I been his leading lady, I would have given him over to the Decepticons and become, it's not Ultron, but Optimus Prime's, side,
Megatron.
Whatever his name. I would just give Shia LaBeouf. I'd go on and still be the good guy. I'd just take his place.
You'd be the heroine.
Yeah. I'd be a good girl boss, mostly because the car would, like, whatever his name, Bumblebee would be like, can you fix me yet? And I'd be like, dude, you know me. Like, I can't even put gas in you. That's why I made sure you were a robot car. Like, come on now. Do I look like Elon Musk?
And see, I have totally other issues with the Transformers movies, mainly involving the Camaro called Bumblebee. It's because in the original Transformer cartoons as I was a child, in the 1986 Transformers movie, best movie ever made, there was a car called Hot Rod that was the muscle car. And there was a car called Bumblebee. And Bumblebee was a VW Bug. Okay?
Okay, did they have girl formers?
They did. And
what were they? Mopeds?
no, she was some kind of a
Vespas?
cool, she was a car. She was kind of a cool car, if I remember correctly. But like, so they took Bumblebee, the VW Bug, and made him a Camaro when there was a car or a character called Hot Rod that was the muscle car. And it's like,
Well,
why
except
couldn't
that-
you?
Because Herbie already exists and we can only love one, semi-sentient bug.
Yeah, but like, it like immediately I was like, oh, these movies are going to be stupid because it breaks canon. It's kind of like the whole like what was the whole thing with what was that show about the Lord of the Rings prequel thing that Amazon
Oh,
did that was
yeah,
terrible?
Rings of Power.
Yes, it's like that. It just it just completely breaks canon, and it's
Well,
like this is
yeah.
dumb.
Yeah, I get it. When it's your thing, it's your thing. Because someone got really upset when I had a passionate sort of like rant about the Chronicles of Narnia. I
Hmm.
guess Netflix is doing a remake, and Aslan, the kind of allegorical Jesus Christ God figure, they're wanting to have Meryl Streep voice him. Now, if this were, say, any other book, I think you could do that and not be deeply, deeply disrespectful of everyone who, understands what that's an allegory for.
Yeah, but like, and I think like, and again, like I'm not like a super diehard Transformer person or whatever, but like you're messing with my childhood.
Yeah, well, it's like the Harry Potter thing. Like, I don't care if, look, if whoever they're having play melanated Snape, maybe he is a great actor. I mean, I don't want to go off and say he's a bad actor, but I will say that, he doesn't look like Snape. He doesn't look like any of the descriptions that have ever been put out for Snape.
Yeah.
And why not give him, there are canonically African American or African. Look, what do you call people? Do you just say black in the UK? Because I don't know if it's African Ukadian.
I don't actually know the term, the language for that, but I understand what you're saying. But it's like, it's just I don't. It's like you're like if when we brought up remaking Pressure Luck, somebody said something about like don't remake it because like it's going to be terrible, and it's like
You're
yeah, like
right.
because you're going to mess with what was originally there, and
Yeah.
it's like I mean they tried to bring American Gladiators back and it wasn't that good. Like the original was better. And it's
Well,
like
yeah,
they
because it's going to be all this stupid stuff when all people really want is an escapism.
yeah.
We
And it's
don't.
like it's just weird.
Yeah, you can turn on American Gladiators or Press Your Luck and forget about life for 15 minutes because you're just watching, these people in 100% pure polyester clothes and the brownest set that has ever browned, you know,
Yes. With
just
the
fight invisible gremlins. And
yeah.
like get new toasters and be all excited. It's amazing. You see men with perms and chest hair. It's awesome.
Yes. And like first generation animation.
Yes. But I thought that was the coolest thing. That's
Yeah,
what people
exactly.
don't get is the modern audience is the same audience that was the audience that is now binge watching Friends.
Yeah. I never understood Friends.
I didn't get it all that much, except that I do love to use the word pivot whenever I'm helping Mr. Mo move something in the worst times. Like, what are we getting across? I'm like, pivot. He's like, shut up.
Uh, if I actually like it's what you're saying is funny, but I don't understand the reference whatsoever. But I can understand how when if you're moving something and you're saying pivot, I can see how that would be actually kind of hilarious.
So, suspend your reality. These, they live in these spacious, ginormous apartments, but Ross is trying to help or get a couch up to the apartment, and I guess service elevators weren't invented in this apartment complex or apartment building.
Hmm.
And so he and Chandler are trying to take it up this like staircase, and it's thoroughly stuck. And I think Ross is just yelling, someone's just yelling pivot when obviously it's stuck.
I I could see like I could see the humor in it. I don't understand the reference at all. Like 'cause
It,
I don't know. I wasn't
Friends
into
wasn't my jam. I used to watch Friends only because it was before The Simpsons. It's like the only way I watched any little bit of Seinfeld because I thought as an adult I get more of the humor of Seinfeld, but I just thought I was like, how the I was like, adults must suck, because this humor.
Yeah. I didn't get most shows like that. Like I didn't understand them, but I was also a dumb teenager when some of that stuff was out, so it didn't resonate with me.
Well, I just thought, because, and Jerry Seinfeld's voice is so nasally, like, and I was like, and he kept getting girlfriends, and I was like, no one smothered him in his sleep. I don't get this.
So, yeah.
There are reasons I don't get Seinfeld still, but I mean, and it wasn't about anything. Even I have told you guys, I was born like 47 and already too old for this shit when I was born. So I'm like, why am I sitting here wasting my time when there is nothing to be gained? Like, there is no plot point. I'm not learning anything like an ER,
Yeah.
or, Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. Although, could I get some laudanum? I'm just asking for a friend.
And see, and I was born too old, but for a completely different reason, and that's because of like, you know, AC/DC, Leonard Skinner, ZZ Top, Zeppelin, Hendrix.
Yeah, to be fair, I got subjected to Michael Bolton, Rod Stewart, and John Mellencamp. And if you're from Indiana and you don't say John Cougar Mellencamp, I think I could be removed. I have tried to be removed from Indiana for that, and I keep getting passes. It's fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Well, see, I got that from my mom, but of course, as a young lad, I was more interested in like the AC/DC and stuff. So,
See, and I was more interested in being anywhere but Indiana. The feeling has not changed.
yeah.
But I will say, and to go on and include, but also not in Arizona.
Yeah.
I would move to Alaska. That was supposed to be like, again, to have an excuse for half the year, I cannot leave my house. God and the climate forbid it. I know everyone talks about the winter blues and stuff, but you guys, I have been training to be isolated for months for my entire life.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy people in Alaska though.
True. Which is probably why I've always been attracted to it. I'm the only high school senior who applied to all of the Alaskan state schools.
The wilderness is calling to you.
Well, also it's the furthest away from my mom and still being, considered in America. That was important when I was a teen.
That's
It's
funny.
somewhat still important now. I'm just kidding.
Well, for reasons.
Well, that being said, you guys, we were obviously not going to get done with this. And Youngest Most Feral has come in 3 times to ask me if I'm ever going to get off the stream, even though we haven't been going as long as we normally do. But I do think that it being rainy and us forbidding him from going outside. Now, Vale, given the fact that I've told you that we're experiencing flooding, where do you think Youngest Most Feral wants to play?
The crick.
Yeah, the edge of like the flippin' flapjack, Oh, let me see if I can find Shabusiness. Okie dokie. I know it's on search. Taylor.
Courtroom Wrestlemania. And you have to say it wrestle. It can't be wrestle, it's wrestle.
Well, okay, Taylor Shabusiness. Okay, let me pull. No. Okay, no, I don't want to embiggen right just yet. Would you? You stupid whore. You can probably hear it, but I can't. I love that I talked myself through this. You guys are just amazed with my skills at every point. You have no idea.
I don't want to embiggen it yet. It's like,
Well-
this has been brought to you by
Okay. Now I
bathtub
can
commercial
envision
here.
it. Well, I mean, so I am gonna turn down the sound because apparently her feral yell is just, well, it is on outside voice. Alrighty, so here is Law and Crime,
Oh
and
God.
as you can see, the lawyer is not as shockist.
Sure.
And Judge, it sounds like just one witness. We're asking for a sequestration, but that may be a moot point.
All right.
Oh Jesus.
Look, I hysterically laugh every time she is clotheslined.
I,
Okay, we have to watch that again because I've almost figured out what she says, which is fragile, fragile, or
oh, it's
damn
she's
it,
saying
Gargamel.
WrestleMania.
It's Gargamel. We should
Oh my
just did this
God.
for Legal Shenanigans Theater. What the hell was I thinking? Playback speed. Because I want to look at that look, because the look she gives him is just like concentrated evil. Like
And Judge, it sounds like
demon
just
took
one
over her
witness.
soul.
We're asking for a sequestration, but that may be a moot point.
Because look at this look. What the hell did she say? Look, I'm not saying I'm making that my ringtone, but I'm not saying that I'm not going to make that my ringtone.
I legitimately think that she said WrestleMania. Like I think that's what she actually said.
Okay, but I'm going to put it to normal speed because watch what her attorney does after this. 'Cause it's like
Yeah.
Tuesday.
It's just the look. Oh yeah, he's like,
We're off the records.
no, keep this on the record.
Yeah, no, for the record, on the record, for the record.
That's too funny.
You know, Taylor's to business. God bless you. You are the crazy that keeps on crazying. Shine on, you crazy crackhead diamond. You just absolute goddess of absurd crazy. You just shine on, you bitch.
Oh, she's a special one, that's for sure.
She, you know, Mama, God broke the mold when he made her. You know how people usually say that in a good way, or like, you know, she was a real character. People are like, God, I hope he broke the mold when he made her. Like, someone find the mold.
Yeah, she's a crazy one, but hey.
Yes. Well, let me see who I can send you guys to, because I am trying to become like an actual YouTuber who does like these things where I send people and do all these like cool things. I mean, I'm not saying that like I'm actually going to get it done, but you know, it's a thought. I am going to go send you to Vice Baby, and he is playing something called, okay, is Poppy Playtime like an adult game? Like that doesn't.
I think it is. Like I think it's a horror thing from what I
okay.
recall.
Yeah, because it's got oh God, my son loved it. Mr. like Violence Face, Huggy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of weird character names, yeah.
Well, at least it's not Skibbity Toilet.
Yeah. Well, that could be scary too.
It's scarier that there are a bajillion episodes and my sons are so addicted. They're like, there's a new episode of Skibbity Toilet coming out. And I'm like, why?
Too funny.
Well, have a wonderful day. Enjoy Poppy Playtime. Keep an eye on the weather if you are in the affected areas. As much as, you know, he hasn't sponsored me yet, Ryan Hall from Ryan Hall, y'all, is a really good meteorologist, and he usually does good reporting. But your local stations, you know, listen to them. They know.
Unless you're in Tennessee.
Well, I mean,
As someone who used to live there, don't listen to them because they don't talk about you.
Well, to be fair, I mean, unless you're Memphis, really, is there anything to talk about?
Well, it really is actually kind of a screwed up thing in Tennessee, but we'll save that for another day. The way that it
Oh,
works. If you're
right. Well, next week, dishing on Tennessee. Crapping on Tennessee with Mo and Veilhammer. I'll see you guys next week, and we will have something different. We might do the closings, or I might be fully up to my eyeballs done with slow talking special needs level, logic defense attorneys. So we might not even hit the Edgecome because I might be at my fill level with attorneys who are gonna make me hurt people.
2 hours of business getting clotheslined it is.
I mean, honestly, we could make a show of that. I mean, how would that? I mean, it's like kitten videos. I'd watch the hell of that on repeat.
We could compare the takedowns from the first one versus the second one.
Oh, we could do every, like rowdy court thing.
That
It'll
would be
be
a good
great.
one.
We'll do like a John Madden takedown of, like the flying defendant and like the hang time you got. And wait, is it John Madden?
John Madden was the football guy, but he's the one who did all the drawing on the screen and all that stuff.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap, did I get a facty thing right about sports? Holy shit, I'm putting this on my calendar in my baby book. Fuck yeah.
Too funny.
Bye, you guys.
See ya.